How's it going, everybody? For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Stone Brewery's Quadro Triticale, a Belgian-styled quadruple ale brewed with Triticale grain. So if you're watching, then you found yourself in my review of Stone's how many confusing and hard-to-pronounce words can we possibly put onto a bottle beer. This is their Stochasticity project, and it is their Quadro Triticale Quad. Lots of reading on the back as usual. Let's see here. It says to age this at cellar temperature, which I have been doing so. It comes in at 9.3% alcohol by volume, which is quite high. I'm going to try to read this very quickly for you. It says, Stone's stochasticity. I can't pronounce that, whatever. There is no happenstance or coincidence. Dumb luck is a fallacy, and randomness a commonly accepted mistruth. Much of what seemingly falls into place and seems so natural is a result of stochasticity. Okay, this is a real word, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. A concept embraced and exalted by this special and unpredictable series of beers, where exotic notions, ingredients, and ideas coescalate at an interesting and often unexpected endpoint. Stone's project Quadro Triticale Trappist ales, as we know them, have a proud lineage dating back nearly a century. Rather than follow the footsteps of the monks who forged the quadruple, the warmest and darkest of monastery offerings, we aim to test its inherent makeup. In doing so, we added Triticale, a hybrid grain combining the pleasant flavor of wheat with the elemental durability and spice of rye to breathe new life into the malt bill. Because of this, the reimagined brew comes across differently than its classical Belgian predecessors, and beautifully so. Lower in sweetness, but rich with flavors mirroring dried fruit, it's a modern interpretation of one of the most historically sacred styles on earth. The malt varieties are Pilsner malt and flaked Triticale. Belgian yeast is Ardennen's strain, and the special ingredients are dark candy sugar. So, that's a mouthful for you. Or an earful for you and a mouthful for me. So I'm going to be drinking this out of my Chimay beer chalice. This is what they kind of have designed for Belgian-styled beers. So I say if you've got the glassware, use it, huh? All right, cap is off. Straight out, the color is really nice. It's kind of like an orangish, almost like a cognac color. Head potential seems rather low. Yeah, pretty low head potential. It's about a half finger of just slightly off-white head. That seems like it's going to dissipate rather quickly. The color on this is awesome. It's like a super dark, kind of like mahogany and ruby mixture, as you can see. As far as the smell goes, really good. Honestly, there's kind of like some barley wine-esque notes going on up front. Tons of brown sugar, malt, yeast, light hop profile. Definitely dried fruits. This is like dried currants, prunes. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I'll kind of do a really out there reference. If you've ever had the German, it's kind of like cake called, I think it's Stone. It's like a fruit cake, sort of. The smell of this reminds me of that a lot. It's a lot of those like jam-like dried fruit smells. Brown sugar. It smells really good. Let's give it a taste and see how it is. Oh yeah, I dig that. It is actually Extremely well balanced. You get a lot of that dark fruit sweetness up front, and it seems like it's almost getting to that point of being like really sweet, and then it just plateaus off and just balances. Oh man, it's got a lot of like prune juice, brown sugar, light touches of like a wine-like alcohol. And the balance is amazing. Like, and it has a quick finish too. It's very clean to finish. It's not like a lot of sweetness or a lot of bitterness keeps residing on your tongue after you've swallowed. It's like you swallow, done. And it's just like this perfect balance of neutral, savory flavors and sweet, candied flavors that kind of, I mean, the whole theme of this is just balance. They perfectly balance out. This is really, really tasty stuff. And when it comes to quadruple ales, that's one of my favorite beer styles. Definitely my favorite of Belgian beer styles. And when I see people trying to play with the style anything more than bourbon barrel aging it kind of makes me get nervous, I guess. I'm like, don't play, don't fix it if it's not broke. But you know, then again, the spirit of craft beer is all about experimenting with things. And I won't lie, Stone can sometimes be a little gimmicky. You know, not all the time, and a lot of their stuff that seems like it's going to be gimmicky ends up being really good, like their Shokaveza and stuff like that. This one, I was like, I think this is going to be gimmicky, especially with this Triticale or Triticale yeast thing they said they have going on that makes it taste different, but they really pulled it off. I mean, it's awesome stuff. So, as far as my rating goes, I want to give this a solid A in the style, and I would call it a low A. I would call it right at a 95. Definitely not an A minus or an A plus, but just right in the middle. I have had a couple of better quads, but you could do a lot worse. This is what I would call just a solid A quadruple beer. As far as my own personal score for this goes, it's really high. I'd probably give it like a 96.5 to a 97 out of 100. It's tasty, but yet so well balanced at the same time. When they mentioned that it's not overly sweet, I think that was a good selling point. That's the best way I can describe it to you, that there's a lot more savory tones to this, and it's not just this overly sweet thing. So, that has been my review of Stone's Stochasticity Project Quadro Triticale, I don't know, Belgian quad. Hope you guys enjoyed the beer review as always. Stay tuned for the next one.